things to do. Perfect. So last session was quite emotional for us, dealing with the aftermath of a massive demon incursion in Marzel. We picked up with the Archfey Alric, doing a citywide calm emotions, at the same time a mass healing word on everyone. Clark at this time ran out of things to kill, flew down to his brother, with the remains of his father in his brother's arms. He also found one single silver feather in the middle of his mangled chest, reached out and pulled it off. He was then given a vision of how his great-grandfather became an Archfey, and that after he died, the silver feather was a deed to his old domain of delight, the Chorus Glade, which now belongs to Cleric. Clark then closed up inside, ignored everyone, telling himself over and over that this was his fault, and he should have been here. It's my fault. Ignoring everyone, he took his father's body in his arms and walked out. Along the way, he ran into his old friend, lying dead on the ground beside Lois's Vardo, Ned. With another scream, Lois came out, took stock of the situation, told Clark she would deal with Ned, put the body of Jonathan into her Vardo, gave him the reins, and he took off, leaving all his friends behind and headed home. While all this was going on, Hal, Thora, and Alric found one of the 3 portal stones that had been missing for 850 years. It was used to open the demon portal somehow, but Alric at least knew they should keep it safe and secret, so it was put inside Hal's bag. They then noticed Clark missing. Annie had a chat with her sister Misha and found out that somehow Archmage Orator, before he died, instilled upon her part of his power and also some sort of magical necklace. She could feel something deep within her trying to get out and was a little frightened. At this point, Chester gathered all of you up and told you that this wasn't the only place hit. Most places were still standing, but the lookout, Kargath's home, was utterly destroyed. Queen Titania also called you to a meeting, and you were all praised for your efforts in the battle, even though you were battered and bruised. There was still work to be done, and to be ready in the morning to leave. She instilled upon you the importance of keeping her informed of what you found out next, and will do her best to help you find those responsible. Summer Court is once again back in session, and is now considered at 4. The full casualty list will be given to you soon. She also gave you 2 more bounders that pretty much the same ones you had been given a while back, and you all went to catch up with Clark. Didn't really take you too long, but before you found them, he had a long chat with his great-grandfather, Nathaniel Kent. Clark then pretty much told you all the same, it's his burden, and to leave him alone. Alric was the smart one, and left to go back to his sister's inn, the Fae and the Fiddle, to wait on his sister. But he was instead put to work by the fairy gardener to open the inn and start serving those in need. 4 hours later found Clark back at the Kent farm, where he spent over an hour digging, crying, and playing his lute. The rest of the party noticed that the farm did have something happen here too. Parts of the barns were scorched, there were patches of burnt grass here and there, and a few of the silk huts were either destroyed or in need of repair. Dead silkworms and spiders were also scattered about. When you knocked on the door, you also noticed another carriage was parked out front, and it had Wayne Enterprises on the side of it, but no signs of horses or anything that would pull it. When the door was opened, you were introduced to one Alfred Pennyworth, who was here on business, but also took care of the small problem that just happened. Once the all-clear was given, the rest of the house went into action and went inside to check on both Clark and the farm. Once everyone was settled, the storm hit, and the rain and lightning started to light up the dark sky. When Clark learned that his mother wasn't here, he once again ignored everybody, hopped on a bounder, and tried to leave. Alfred then saw something in Clark that he sees all the time in Master Bruce: anger, sadness, and just pure determination. So he walked up to Clark and smashed him in the back of the head, knocking him out cold. He then bade you all farewell, got into his carriage, which turned into an airship, and left, which is where the session ended. And we're slowly picking back up. So, after about 20 minutes, you guys all see and hear the door open, the front door, and in walks Connor. What would you like to do? Clark, you're still not dead.
I feel like Annie and Kerrigan would be sitting either in the room with Clark or like right outside the door, kind of like standing guard, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to let him rest because she still feels really bad about how things went down. And also making sure that he doesn't like slip out.
Okay. What's Alric?
I'm going to take him to his father.
Okay. You're going to take Connor to the floor? Okay. Alric, you are not here. Thank you. Remember? You are
Alec's
serving
being
people.
worked to the bone.
You are. You're learning what your sister puts up with on a daily basis, mostly by herself. Connor pretty much walks out with you in the rain, takes stock of where his dad is, and just looks up to you and goes, "Right. Well, did he hurt himself, or actually, no, I think I know what happened. Let's go inside. I have something I need to tell you all. And a note to write. I take it my mother's still not here?
She's gone away for the regular meeting.
Wasn't too sure if she had a way back or not. Quickly. I don't think she did. That's fine. One Connor comes all back in. He's going to pretty much make sure you guys are all taken care of. He's ignoring Clark completely. Well, I ran into Alfred on the way here. He's going to find my mother, I think. That's what I heard. His contraption is loud, and we were yelling back and forth. There was nowhere for me to actually sit on it. So I flew beside him. Kind of glad he actually seen me. Kind of caught me up with what happened to him. Idiot. How are all you doing anyway? Everyone good?
Bit shaken up for different reasons, but yeah. We're all healthy, we're all alive. No one of the immediate group passed away, only the father of one of us.
Yeah, this place looks like it got hit pretty hard. A little too dark and wet to do anything about that now. I'll take stock once I can. I don't think anyone here actually has the magic to create mini lighting, so we'll figure that out. That's okay. Well, thanks for following at least. But don't you all have stuff to do?
Yeah, wait for Clark to wake up.
Drag him along. Tie him up. You guys have more important stuff to do than sit here and wait on him. I think you better get going to get you back in Marzel before, well, you need rest, and I don't think you're going to get that here. I'd suggest just leave the Bardo here and take the Moorbounders. I'll get that back to Lois later. You need speed. As for him, though, he hasn't really been home in 21 years. He might have been born here, but it's not his home. Try to make him aware that we will be fine here without him, just like always.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of that should be family talk. Family talk shouldn't come from outsiders.
Well, like I said, we're a close-knit family here. But he hasn't been part of that family.
Uncles and cousins are still family too, even though they're not always around.
Yeah. Well, after the destruction of the, 15 years ago when things went to shit, it was the day I was born. And, well, it was 15 years ago, and this is technically his first time home since, 21 years, but never got a call, never got a message from him, seeing if we're all okay. Nothing. Sorry, it's just been a day. And I would have actually met that day. Plus, you folks are important on what's going on around here and are in the thick of things. I'd like you to keep that away from here, if you can. So,
we'll be crashing at the pub, and I'll tell them the name of the pub. I can't remember off the top of my head.
the Fae and the Fiddle, yep.
When you drop off the horse and cart, can you come meet us at the Fae and Fiddle tomorrow?
I don't think I'm going to be back in Marzel for a bit. I got stuff to do here. I'll write a note for you to give to Clark, though. Then he pretty much just goes off and starts writing immediately. Within 30 seconds, you have a note from him to give to Clark. And then he's like leaving and going to take stock of outside. You'd be able to tell he's a little upset, sir.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go up talk to the girls that are guarding the door, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
And inform them that we've been told to pretty much leave the premises. With Clark either loose, tied up, he didn't care, he just doesn't want him here.
He needs to rest, doesn't he? Can we transport him this way?
I'll take a medicine roll.
I was going to say I can hold him and levitate and hold on, because my boots are magical items, they're not a spell.
Yep.
So
He
I
could-
can still float being as smooth as possible.
He could sit on Kerrigan too. I could ride Kerrigan and put him in front of me, I guess, and hold him steady.
We don't have to be in a rush to go home. Or back.
By now, you're pushing 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The only last thing you knew was you just had to be ready by morning for Alec. It's dark all the time, so that's not really going to matter when you get back to the Fae and the Fiddle.
I hate to move him if the last thing he remembers is trying to get out of here and then just gets knocked out and then wakes up somewhere else. But maybe that's for the best if they
I don't think him and his brother need to have a conversation right now. I think it'll actually tip him past the point of no return.
Yeah.
Alfred flew off. He's off to go get the mum. From what Connor can understand.
Yeah, it might actually make things worse if they do. If he doesn't have a very happy welcome, that might make it harder, I guess. Thora, you think we can get him out?
Yeah, I can carry him if we need to.
No, we can put him on Kerrigan, or if you want to levitate, whatever the best plan is. I guess I am on board to get him back to town.
I'll go pick him up out of the bed.
Yeah, the staff will definitely give you like something to wrap him in because it is raining outside. Perfect.
I think as you go to pick him up, you hear him kind of mumbling in his sleep. Dad and Mom. What am I doing? That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Can I have a con save at disadvantage, please, for Claire?
Oh no! Let's see. Oh crap! I didn't load up my character. Hold on a sec.
Could have been mean and said wisdom.
Can't
So
see.
I think your wisdom's not bad. It's intelligence, I think we should say. But yeah.
All right. Let's see. Can't save.
Uh-huh.
Disadvantage. 11.
Okay. All right. Yep.
It would have been a 23 if it wasn't a disadvantage.
Yeah. He's going to be out for a bit. He's got a nice welt on the back of the head. Not bleeding, though. Just You'd be able to tell it was a surgical strike and what he was doing. So, you guys get Clark tied back up on the back of Kerrigan or one of the Moorbounders.
I think Kerrigan would want to take him,
Okay.
and Annie will sit behind him to keep him. She does. Annie's not okay with tying him up, so she'll prop him on Kerrigan and sit behind him and hold him in place.
Okay, I'm good with that. All right. So yeah. You'd be able to tell the tension in the house is hi puppy. The tension in the house as soon as Connors got home was one of hopefulness, and then went to, oh, let's all get back to work immediately. Because he's technically now the man of the house. So, you guys all get situated back and start headed out towards Marzel. Let's start with Annie. On your ride back to Marzel, what's on your mind?
Everything and nothing. I think we're trying to process everything that has happened because she went back home. She found her sister that she thought was dead, then immediately gets attacked by demons, and the world goes sideways. Now everything's dark, and she's just seen everything that Clark's been through, and thinking that this could be me right now. That could have been Misha. This could very easily be me, and she feels horrible for how everything's going with Clark, and just doesn't really have a plan. Like, just processing, like, kind of shell-shocked. Just kind of taking it one step at a time, and we've got to get back to town. We've got to take care of Clark, and whatever happens next is where we'll go.
Okay. Thora, you've been out of a painting for a week now. In that time, you have killed a lot of things, seen a lot of weird things happen to you when you got angry, got a boyfriend-ish, you're one of a kind in this place. What's going on in your head?
Gosh. She's just, well, I think I'm doing all right by these guys. I guess. I mean, they haven't killed me or anything yet. I really hope Hal likes me. I wonder if he likes my hair. Does he like my hair like this? And she'll be like messing with her hair and like look over at Hal, and then maybe I should like lift some barrels or something. I need to get stronger. I need to impress him. And basically the rest of the time is like, I still really don't understand exactly what's going on here, but I'm being helpful. I know I'm being helpful. And, that sucks about Clark's dad. That sucks. Poor guy. But, I wonder if Hal likes my hair like this. And it's just like, it's just like intermittent, like serious thoughts, but most of it's just like trying to think of ways to impress Hal.
Okay. Every time you try to do a new hairstyle, the rain pelts it down back to nothing.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Hal, what's on Hal's head right now?
Happy birthday to me. Just plodding along, just been like, another great birthday. He's just like, just family's not here, family's never here. I'm the other end of what Clark is. I got kicked out of family.
Yeah.
At a young age. So here I am going, happy birthday to me. Just plodding along, like not even paying attention to the others.
Okay.
Just on the way back to town.
All right. Alric. What's going through Alric's head in a bar full of probably 50 or 60 people you have never met before? Most of them are all looking at you and comparing you to your sister, telling you how much better she is at this than you.
There's panic going through his head.
Mm-hmm.
Though he's not having enough time to actually think on it, as it's more of a case of, yes, I'll way over there. What's that order again?
Hell!
Order for a second, like, I wonder how Clark's doing before another customer yells and he's running back to fix an order or something.
They would have realized immediately you were useless at all, like the cooking part. They would have probably started you off maybe in the kitchen chopping and doing simple stuff. But once they realized that you don't have the finesse that your sister does in certain things, it's pretty much you're just right now in the middle of taking orders, taking food out, and then scrubbing dishes. Cool. Well, about 2 to 3 hours into your journey, like about 20, when you guys are about 20 minutes close to Marzel, Clark, you feel yourself kind of immobile, wet. You have that wet dog smell of Kerrigan and Annie. And yeah, your eyes open and you have a nasty headache, sir.
We are cats, sir.
It's okay, wet cat smell. It's the same as wet dog smell. Wet Moorbander smell, all of it right now. Yeah. Wet fur smell, we'll go with that.
I think when I first become conscious, everybody just hears Clark yell, "Mother!" And as he sits up, then he realizes it's like the worst hangover ever, and he like kind of puts his wings on each side of his head and like, oh my god, what did I do? Trying to think back of exactly what happened.
Mhm.
And then when he realizes he's not at the farm anymore, I kind of look around and realize that I'm outside in the rain, and
Mhm.
this is Kerrigan. And I give Kerrigan, a big hug around the neck,
Can I have an
and then
intelligence
realize,
save, please?
A what?
30,
Okay.
20.
You
30,
remember
20
fucking
on that
everything that... Yeah, you remember everything that just happened.
And
Minus
then I
getting hit in the
realized,
back of the head. Mhm.
and then I realize Andy's behind me. I'm like, oh my god, what did I do?
First, how are you feeling? It's my dog.
Bleh.
Like one, like one of those warbounders just ran me over.
Yeah. Do you remember Alfred?
Yeah.
Dobby. He knocked you out. Dobby. Sorry. He knocked
Dobby
you
is
out.
the dog's name. I love it.
Yeah. He's a Chihuahua mix, so his name's Dobby. Yeah. I'm sorry. He knocked you out, and he's been out for a little while. And they wanted to tie you up, and I wouldn't let them tie you up. I can kind of identify with what you're going through a little bit. I thought I lost my sister and my family, and I would have done anything to be able to go back to be with them. And I wanted to help you get back to yours, but I'm really sorry that we weren't able to find your mom, get you back to her. I'm just really sorry.
I also apologize for what I have done. My grief of losing my father sent me down a path that I shouldn't have gone down.
I don't think you should apologize for anything that happens in grief. It's a survival moment that you do what you have to do to get through, and I understand. I don't think you have anything to apologize for.
Hal, do you think you would have read the note that you were given, or no?
No, not my note to read. I've been in enough funerals.
Just checking. Okay.
Am I close enough to hear that conversation?
Oh yeah, you guys are all together pretty much.
I'm gonna butt in when she said you don't need to apologize to anyone. I'm like, you don't need to apologize to anyone here. You and your brother need to have a decent chat, and you need to apologize to him.
And then at that, Clark hangs his head.
But give him space. At this point in time, he is not happy. And he's also just inherited the farm. And it's in a mess. So he's also got work. Next time we come back, you should go.
When he says the farm is a mess, you see, I lift my head up and like, you see the look of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, oh my God, realization. That's the word I was looking for. That, and just, like the realization that Clark should have done more for his brother and not himself, or for both him and his brother, not just himself. And then as he does that, he wraps his wings around Kerrigan's neck and just, even though Kerrigan's soaking wet, now he's even wetter because he just starts bawling his eyes out, realizing that he has excluded his brother from the allowing him to grieve along with him.
And you've technically only known your brother's existence for just over 3 weeks.
Yeah. And the realization that he's burned a family bridge that may never come back again. You hear it's like, oh, what have I done? What have I done?
I don't think all hope is lost.
We're here if
it
you
is,
anything.
Yeah.
But your brother gave you this to read. And
I'm
I'll just
giving
kind
it
of
to
like
you in
pull it
Discord.
out.
Okay.
I was going to say,
I
I'll
sent
leave
it
it
to you in
for
Discord, Abe.
so it doesn't get saturated.
Yeah, I'll leave it up to you whether or not you want to tell everyone what that says.
I think at first Clark cries even harder than he was. And then after a couple minutes, I take it we're going back to town, correct?
Yes. Alfred's getting your mum.
All right. Then let's go solve what we have to solve to get things put back the way it should be. And you see this serious, even though his, I get as bloodshot as owl eyes can get, and tear stain. You see this serious look on all of a sudden come on Clark's face, and the determination in what he just said that, yeah, we've got to figure this out. We've got to put right what has been wronged.
Annie'll just smirk and look at Hal and nod. Like,
And I think instead of sitting on Kerrigan's back, what Clark is going to do is climb up and like perch on the top of his head and do like that Captain Morgan pose kind of thing. You know, like on the bow of a ship, and say, he'll turn to Hal and Annie and everybody and say thank you for putting up with my little idiosyncrasy here. I will definitely be.
we'll be right here with you.
Clark will do that owl thing and turn his head and look at Annie and kind of wink at her and then turn it back again.
Okay. When you guys finally get into Marcel and hit up the Feign the Fiddle Inn, you find, as soon as you get there, you see Luca and Tails also running towards it. And you guys pretty much get there at the same time and open the door. Inside is, I'm going to assume, a little bit of chaos. And Alric, what do you think your mental state and physical state is in after 7 hours in here by yourself, mostly?
Oh, it's running panic.
You're pushing 8 p.m. by now. Like, these guys are going to be hungry. Mm-hmm.
It's gotten to the point where he's given up on any form of etiquette. And he's thankful he's still wearing his ring of reaction. So he's just like pushing through crowds with ease and just occasionally diving over tables to take orders. Just everything's panic.
You've already gotten my order. You're going to hear that a lot more. Hail! And then, like, as soon as the doors open, everyone just screams, Luca! Luca takes stock of the situation, looks right at you and go, right, you're fired. And everybody cheers. She just immediately, like, snaps her fingers, looks at a quarter and says, you lot, out! I need that table. And she's going to look at all you and go, that's yours. Mm-hmm. Immediately, like, puts an apron on and starts going to work.
I was so ready to abuse you, Alric, about ale. I heard the chant all the way down the road.
Alric is slumped in a chair.
Yeah, you eventually have Shadowclaw pretty much just, like, shove a mug of ale into your fist. How, you don't know, and you probably
less tiring than that.
Yeah, you probably actually got a couple blisters for the first time in a long time for doing actual manual labor.
So how did... Also, see Clark and...
Give me an insight check, please, for Alric.
I imagine there's nothing on his face that I can tell something's going to happen.
They are also drenched.
Quick question, DM.
Yep.
Would that being knocked out... Would that being knocked out be considered at least a short rest?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm good with that. Yeah, like, everyone couldn't take a short rest. You had plenty of time for a little bit of R&R. If you need it. Except for Alric, you're fucked. Yep. You could start your short rest now, though, for Alric. With the net 20 for 24, you definitely sense that there's a story that's about to come out there.
I'm just going to cup the ale and not push, and just, if it comes out, let it come out.
Yeah. But you'd be able to tell that they're all kind of hovering more towards looking at Clark. Thora's she's like in the middle of combing her hair and drying it immediately as soon as she gets like underneath some roofs. I'm
Yep.
assuming that's what she's doing. Yeah. She's the only one that you just understand. It's like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm. But while we were walking too, I would have been like, I wonder if I should tell Hal it's my birthday. I feel like maybe he'd get me something. I wonder when Hal's birthday is. I don't know if it's appropriate to ask as she's like combing her hair in the rain. And then yeah, as soon as they get in there, she uses her air and is like doing the thing where she like tosses her hair around, like trying to look sexy, but it probably just looks really dumb.
I mean, my passive perception has caught this the whole time.
Okay, good.
I do have a 23 passive.
Yeah. That's about the only thing of yours that's currently working.
Yeah, Thora is thinking that she's slick the whole time, like, yeah, this is really gonna turn him on.
Really. But I was just too busy singing happy birthday to myself. I was just like, let's say it and just...
Yeah, and Thora's super awkward, so like you wouldn't know that she was trying to trying to like attract herself to you because she's just so awkward that she just looks like an idiot.
Well, eventually you all have like hot piping stew and mugs of ale shoved into your face, and she's just gonna like look at this. Luke is gonna come over with the stew and just look at it and look at Alric, shake her head and just go, "It's not terrible.
I'll take
It
it.
could have been better." You guys
Not
look
terrible,
like
it's an
shit.
improvement.
Yeah. She's just gonna say, "You guys look like shit. You can take the suite on the left tonight. There's room for all of you, unless you want to. I don't have another suite. I can give you my room though if a couple of you want that. I'll leave it up to you." She just like goes back to the more people starting to come in. By now you'd be able to ascertain a little bit. I will take either perception or insight from everyone on the stock of the people in the inn right now. Whether or not you'd be trying to listen to any conversations. Okay. For the most part, you guys are doing pretty good. Annie, I'm going to assume you're just still more worried about Clark than anything right now. The rest of you would be able to figure out. Alric, you've been around most of these people. A lot of them are pretty much doing the same thing Clark did, just a little better. They're grieving by drinking. Almost everybody here lost somebody today, or more than one. Everybody here is just pretty much swapping family stories the entire night. Eventually, you get a couple people up and start singing and whatnot. But most people here are trying to drink to forget. You even have a couple people and creatures that you've never really seen here before. You definitely have like the sense of people that are like on par with Alec in here that you've never seen before. So there's definitely a couple high-powered Archfey in and amongst the group. And one of them who starts dancing first, I'll take history rolls to see if you know what it is, because he's one of a kind.
I don't know what it is with me in 13 today. Jeez.
That's up in here. Annie and Hal, you're the only two who know what a leprechaun is. And Annie, you're the only one who knows his name is Squalish.
I knew it.
And
Annie
he's
will.
dancing around, singing a tune, and like he's going from table to table, walking on air, just having the time of his life.
She'll see that and go up to the bar and get another round of drinks for everybody and an extra shot for herself and come back, pass them all around, and point out to anyone that didn't notice jumping green guy. And
he's 2 feet tall.
Yeah, I'll try to get like everyone's attention pointing at him and say, we really want something to cheer us up. Should go dance with that guy.
All right. I'll go dance. How, baby, you want to come dance with me?
I'll go.
Wait. Yeah, let's dance.
Are you going to tell them anything about this creature or who he is? Or no?
I'll know who he is.
Yeah.
Not.
Okay.
If they not yet, like she's getting an extra shot and she kind of wants to like do the thing where you like just lean back in the chair and just observe and like kind of want to watch what happens. Like she's gonna pay attention and like keep an eye on everything, but mostly like this could be some tricksy fun to help people forget the problem.
Yeah. For the rest of you, Squalish is Titania's court jester. He is an Archfey on a demigod power level. He's about a CR 25. But he's a hell of a great type. Within minutes, can I have charisma saves from everybody, please? Unless you're immune to the charm effect.
Nat 20.
Attaboy, Clark. You're awake now.
I'm very
Karma is a bitch right here.
Oh, it is. Oh, this is terrible.
I'm gonna tell anybody.
Clark, at some point through the evening, your mind's probably on something else that you're not paying attention to anything, which is probably a good thing. Because this turns into a party. Like, this is a drunken mess of a party, and for somehow this leprechaun is the center of attention from a mass charm effect on everybody. You're the only one who's been able to tell that this inn is going to go all night long, and you're maybe going to want to put some earplugs in tonight. And definitely not sleep in the penthouse suite. Everybody else, you are having the time of your life, and you don't even know about it. The remainder of this evening, what would Clark like to do? Because you're the only one who can think on your own right now.
Well, I think Clark would start by. I don't think he realizes right away, so he'll try to go get the party's attention. You know, and I think he's going to kind of weave around everybody because you know he he's not a tall owl.
Nope.
So as everybody's under the charm and they're dancing, he's got to try to bob and weave, and then eventually he'll realize this ain't working. So what he's going to do is he's going to actually go out. Even if it's storming out, owls don't mind the storms. He's going out. He's going to fly to the top of the roof where
Okay.
he's going to perch. And he's just going to sit there writing songs for a while.
Okay. Perfect. At some point, you're going to feel a presence behind you while you're doing this, and like the rain stops all around just you, and you have the sense of someone just a little bit smaller than you standing behind you, going, "What? You don't want to join the party there, Clark? I was told to spread the, good time cheer with everybody, but you're just up here still, What's the problem, Clark? Oh, Squellish the name? Party is my game. What can I make you do to you to make you feel a little more, better and happy? What's wrong? Don't you like a good show?
Absolutely nothing. Writing songs makes me happy. I am a bard after all.
But I was one before you. Let me look.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not bad. You got the hang of it. You're getting a little bit better. It's okay to embellish, though. People love a good story. It's okay. People don't care if you're lying. Just as long as it makes sense and everybody has a good time. And if they're not having a good time, well, it's okay to make them think they're having a good time. Especially in times like this. That's a nice loot, by the way. Next time you have a conversation, tell him I said hi. And then he just goes, poof. That's a great picture, Andy. Love
I had to.
it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was picturing too. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how long the charm effect lasts.
It's going to last probably 2-3 o'clock in the mornings when he's going to put everybody to sleep. So they can sleep it off. And like as soon as like you hear or see him leave the building, the sound stops and pretty much everyone immediately just either starts snoring where they are or gets up. He pretty much turned the party off and everyone went to bed. Well, I say bed. It's still loud. I'll just leave it at that.
So
Not many people are sleeping alone tonight, sir.
So I think if it's still loud and all that craziness, I think Clark would stay on the roof and try to get sleep.
Okay. Well, it's nice and dark. You're going to get a little bit wet, but at some point you're going to notice he left that bubble around you so you don't get wet. Mainly because he didn't want your notes getting wet. So you pretty much have a bubble of air around you so the rain doesn't hit you for the rest of the night. So everybody wakes up. I will let you use your own personal imaginations with what went on for the evening. I will take intelligence saves for all of you to see if you remember most of the night. Except for Clark. You're fine. Yeah, just one from Hal. Okay. Hal and Alric, Yeah, you don't remember much last night. Thora and Annie, you guys remember all of it.
Laura, what did you do? Do you remember when you
Oh, when I did that thing with that thing, and then that other thing happened. Yeah, that was crazy.
never seen anything like that before?
I mean, party tricks and all that, Hey there, Boo Thang. Do you remember last night?
You can all take long rests too.
Woo!
Ooh, spells.
You're waking up at like 9 a.m. though.
Weren't we meant
It's
to be
not an
somewhere
early
in
day.
the...
He told you to come find him at some point in the morning. That was it.
Okay.
It's morning till noon hour. If you want to do con saves to see if you're hungover, I will let you.
I mean, I nat won my charisma save, so I feel like that's fair.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Ooh, live.
Yeah. Alric, you're feeling a little... You had a rough day.
It's a party. No one checks alcohol contents. And I'm a very small person.
Yep. But Clark, you know everything that happened last night.
I think Clark, after he wakes up, he's going to fly down and come inside and then see the ladies there. This is, did you enjoy yourself last night?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's probably the best time I've had. Well, literally in my memory. So, that was great.
Definitely some much needed, I guess, release of a lot of really nightmarish thoughts and tensions. It's good to kind of let go for a night, but I mean, Thora says she doesn't remember much, but there's some. I saw some things I wish I didn't remember.
No, I remember everything last night. I just don't remember my whole life. So, I remember some things in my life. I won't say that, but it was nice to have some rootin' tootin' frivolity. I'll tell you that. How are you doing?
Better.
I'm good. Feel like that was one of the best birthdays I've had in a long time.
Oh my God! No! Oh my God! Guess what? Guess what, baby? It was my birthday too. It was my birthday too, and I was so scared that you wouldn't care or whatever, so I didn't say anything. But
I don't think it was a time to celebrate, so I didn't want to say anything.
yeah, that's what I felt, and well, I mean, it's just written in the stars, I guess. We're meant to be.
Meant to. You had a good night?
Yeah.
I remember bits and pieces.
Yeah, do you remember the good bits and pieces?
Yes.
Yes, you
can
sound real
check
sure.
that.
Yeah.
You can insight check that if you really, really want to.
Yeah.
I don't know what's good or bad. I only remember little bits.
I know. You remember having a smile on your face. That's about really it.
Well, I didn't wake up alone.
Okay, yeah, the night scene, you definitely know he doesn't remember most of it.
Yeah, Boo, it's all right. It's just the beginning of us.
Yeah, it is.
As you guys are talking, Clark's over standing next to you, playing his version. Just an old-fashioned love song, coming down in three-part harmony.
Good to see you doing better, little man.
Thank you. Yeah, I am feeling much better this morning than I did yesterday. So, and I think at that, Clark will produce the note that his brother wrote him,
Okay.
and everybody, Connor wrote me this, and then I realized not always lost with him. So, and I'll read it out loud to them. He wrote, "Stop wasting time and go get things done. You are at the center of something important. So go figure it out. You do. We all have great hope in you. The world has great hope in you, and so do your friends." And at that, I look up at everybody. "I'll deal with the farm and find Mother. We will be fine. Go be a hero. Connor." And again, Clark's being an emotional little owl. You kind of see a look of, I realized that I haven't ruined it with Connor. And I look at each one of you individually as I say this. We save this land, and I'm glad I have you guys with me to do that. With that, Clark will actually turn and go over and, for the first time, actually ask for some coffee this morning.
If you guys didn't notice this morning, Luca is not awake. Her, well, not night shift employee, but someone you guys have not met yet is there. He's about 8 feet tall. He is roughly... He's got more scars, I think, than most of you guys combined. He is wearing a leather apron that is way too small for him. Most things on him are way too small for him, but he is a massive orc behind the bar. He just looks at everybody and goes, "Grub, you all look funny. Hungry?"
Yes, please.
You look funny too.
I am. I'm Asmog. I work part-time. Called in this morning. I'll make eggs. That's really all I can do. Right.
And
Thanks.
Clark looks at him.
Yeah, you take up maybe half his hand.
And he realizes, eggs? Bird?
What?
I'm going to skip the eggs, thank you.
Oh, I find bread for you. Maybe some cheese.
That would be fine. Thank you.
Nuts? I'll get you some nuts. Little bird guy. Goes back into the kitchen. Like I said, Luke will hire anybody. She is not waking up. She has not put her in a... She's not here yet. So, the rest of you, what would you like to do this morning after you are given... It's actually not bad food from this guy. It's probably like 20 times more than you're going to eat, because it's portioned for him, not you. But it's food. And with your hungover state, it probably tastes delightful.
I was going to say, I'm going to be awfully committed to finishing it.
You can try. There's more than you're going to be able to, but yes.
I'll share with Kerrigan.
Okay. He pretty much gave you like each a dozen egg omelet. So, at some point, you guys all head out. Where are you going to go from here in the morning? Or what's on your list of things? Are you going to go find Alec? Where would you like to go?
I suppose if we're looking for Alec, first thought is to try and to go to I know the person, but I've forgotten her name.
Abigail's?
The hag.
shop?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Or whatever it is now.
The Baba Yaga. Mm-hmm. Right. You know where the Boggy Bakery entrance was. I'll put you back on the map of Marzel for you. So you guys are here. Did I actually put her place here or not? Yeah, she's over in the corner. So roughly like 10, 12-minute walk. I will take perception rolls along the way, please.
How many?
From each of you, or if you're paying attention, it's up to you whether or not you want to roll or not. Your passives will work.
I'll usually roll.
So, along the way, it's fairly early, but you all will start to see signs of people getting ready to pretty much bury the dead. Today is like a national day of mourning here. You're going to start to see not too much in Marzel, because most of the denizens that live here full time aren't like the religious kind. There are a few. Hal, you would probably know most of them, being where you're from, but you'd be able to tell that people that do worship other deities other than just like nature stuff, like most druids do, they're getting ready for all their funeral rites. So each religion has their own, and you would be able to tell who they worship. Most people are in their ceremonial garb this morning, and it's pretty much a morning of mourning here in Marzel. It is a somewhat somber morning for the most part.
I will tell the party like what's roughly happening. On top of them not being able to see it, but just that maybe don't be too loud in their celebrations.
Yeah, some are celebrating, others are like being quiet. There's a whole bunch. Eventually I will give you guys the document I have for all the ceremonies, but if you want to know anything specific about any of the patrons on what they're doing, I can let you know.
Did we notice any as we walked past?
Definitely.
Do I notice any people
yes,
that have been killed as we walk past?
You would know of one that's pertaining to Lunara, whom you worship, called the Lantern Walk. This is to guide lost souls towards hope and renewal. It starts at dawn and it goes to dusk. It says pretty much participants craft lanterns inscribed with words or images of their loved ones. They then walk along a designated path, placing their lanterns in waters like streams, rivers, ponds, always at sunrise. They last for a few hours, and they just pretty much watch the lanterns float away. Most of them are chanting some hymns. Most of them are just praying to Lunara for guidance, and she's not answering. But yeah, they're still doing the lantern walk. Something you've probably done a few times.
Probably.
So when you guys finally get to where you remember the Boggy Bakery being, it's a little different now. The storefront is completely changed, and you see just a normal, 2.5-story old house, but instead of on stilts this time, it's on chicken legs. And you see Abigail sitting in a rocking chair with a lineup of about 5 or 6 people waiting to talk to her. And most people you see that are talking to her, she's in the middle of signing a contract.
Join the queue.
Seems a little ridiculous, but I guess we have to.
And Clark will kind of fly above to try to get her attention.
Yeah, she definitely sees you. You pretty much hear in your voice, Clark, good morning. You seem better than you did yesterday. Do you have anything specific you would like to go over? I am a little busy.
And I will fly out and kind of signal everybody, come on. And I totally forgot why we came here.
You're looking for Alec. I'm going to put a picture in Discord of her house for you. Because I finally found it. This thing.
Yeah, I actually have one 3D printed.
Nice.
Have you seen Alec?
Of course. I know where he is at all time. Is it him you're trying to look for, or were you looking for me? Would you like to... Well, is there anything specific you need from me? Because if you do, get in line.
That was technically location of Alec. We need to meet. You said to find him in the morning.
Yeah. Well, why don't I call him for you? That'll be the easiest. And she just goes back to talking to whoever was currently in front of her. It doesn't take long before you sense the presence more than anything of Alec, but you'll sense him before you see him. And you just all hear in your heads, you don't see him yet. Are you ready? I am a little busy this morning. Or do you need more time? And you know your destination. Are you still going to go see the Oracle?
I think that's where we're going.
Good. Are you all ready? I can get you close to the Sun Keep. They don't have a lot of trees in their area, but that's the only way that I can currently get you there quick.
Clark will look at everybody, kind of give the, are we ready?
I'm ready.
Are you taking any mounts, or are you going on?
We don't own any mounts.
Well, they can be provided for you if you need. I'll be setting you about almost a day's journey away from the keep. Because I honestly don't know what's going on there. It's best not to get you closer than I need to. Mainly because, as you know, communication is troublesome right now. Speaking of that, he's going to pat himself and then just remember, right. He's going to summon a small little box and hand it to whoever feels like grabbing it.
No,
Thora will grab it. We'll grab it together, baby.
You'll both grab it together. They didn't have time to do a lot for you, but inside is something that will help you, well, contact us or anyone you need to in an emergency. And there's something special in there for you, Hal, seeing as, well, nothing's working for you, I assume.
My items are fine, but my spells and powers have gone.
Yes, well,
I'll get
I could Well, Abigail could help you with that if you want it, but I don't know what her price would be. I myself don't like to do many contracts these days, as I am quite busy.
I'm going to have faith that it'll work out and that
good.
I'll get my powers back. You don't believe in them just for the strength, you believe in them for all the right things.
Well, hopefully the Oracle can put a light on that situation for you. Right. Well, if you're ready, let's go to the life tree. We will go through it. Seeing as it brought most of you together, it's fitting you go through it. And, well, it's quite large and easy to work with. So I will be setting you, roughly, it's early now. Hopefully you can get there by evening. I think you should be able to, as long as you're not attacked along the way. Once again, I do not know what's going on. So I think you should be fine. I don't really have many contacts there for you, sadly. Then he's going to think for a minute. I do have one, though. I don't know where he is. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but he is there. And Brandon forgot to open up the file with his name on it. Give me 1 second. Where is he? There it is. His name is Zoru. He's a dragonborn. He's one of the astrologers there, but he does have his own little shop. I don't know the name of the shop, but he usually is one of the first you'll notice. He's quite white. He's about 7.5 feet tall. He should be able to help you with anything you need. Just tell him I'm calling in my Zorrut. All right, come with me. Let's get you to where you are. Have any of you been to the Sunkeep, or should I tell you a little bit about it? I'm pretty sure the only one who might have been there is Alric?
I'm checking my backstory now. Let me check.
I know Buster has, but he's
Nah. I've been to the Moon Keep. I've been to the Sun Tower.
The tower,
No
not the
sun.
Sunkeep. Ah. Well, let's walk and talk. I will tell you about a few things there. Well, it's perched on the northern cliffs of Lunawan. It's quite an interesting place. It's kind of like the opposite of the Moonkeep, where the Moonkeep is highly modern, I'll say, with all the things that Artemis built and the students and everybody there. There it does not have electricity like it does at the Moonkeep. The Sunkeep is old, but it's more... What's the word I'm looking for? Contemporary? I don't know. I've only been there a few times. But it's forged from stone that was like lined with gold, so it's a very pretty place. It's etched with glowing runes that shift with the lunar tides. Kind of keeps the place in perpetual light, actually, so you'll be able to see most things in there. If they're still working. I don't know what type of magic did it, if it was divine or not. The Sunkeep itself, it's a sanctuary for the greatest minds of Lunawan. Its towers are home to historians who chronicle not only our past, but forgotten eras of other places. It's got astrologers and astronomers. They have a lot of, arcane forged telescopes, magical lenses. They like to chart the movement of stars, the moons, and stuff like that. It's not really anything I've delved in, but they too enjoy it. They have philosophers that debate the timeless truths in their halls of gold and crystal. A lot of theologians there. It's a weird place. I like the peace and quiet, and they like to talk. But I think you'll be able to have some fun there. It's got a few places. Spire of Gilded Thought. To chamber shielded by enchantments that are extremely hard to break. That is, I believe, where you will find the Oracle. Her name is Barbara Gordon, by the way. She was blinded in her youth by a vision that she called the end that crawls. Now she sees more than any of us that are currently alive. Her voice is rarely heard, but her counsel is sought in matters of prophecy, fate, and, well, dire necessity. You 5, well, 7 I should say, are going to be probably the first to have a meeting with her. Hopefully they grant it for you. She's not well known. There's only maybe 10 people that I know of her existence. But that's more of a general thing on the Sunkeep. I'm sure somebody there can tell you more. It's not a place to pick a fight. They won't like it. Now, when you guys arrive to the tree, he pretty much just puts his hand on the tree like he's done this millions of times. But this is the first time, probably in a long time, that it's finally working. And the lovely tree you guys first were at when you touched the monument, the big fountain is still there. Is anyone going to go back and try and touch it? I should say just Clark and Alric, because you were the only two.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Both of us will.
He's just going to smile and go, right, I had a feeling. As you touch this for the first time in a while, it feels like stone. You get nothing. No hint of magic, no hint of anything. It's got some nice crystal clear water running through it, though.
I'm going to go up and just think it's like a ritual that they boys have, so I'm just going to go join the team build bond.
Okay.
Yeah, Annie's Annie wants to go touch it too because she watched them do it the first time and get frozen, but didn't actually touch it. So now she's gonna want to touch it too.
Thora's like, where's everybody going? I'll go too. I want to touch something.
I was going to pretend to
time here?
freeze.
Okay. Yeah, you touch it. Nothing. You just hear in the back Alec give like a little blessing to the tree as you do it. But nothing happens.
What's different? Why didn't you guys freeze this time? Why don't we feel anything?
Well, this is part of the magic that is not working, I guess.
I watched you last time. I wanted to see where you went.
Because that doesn't sound creepy.
Well, that was my job. I was told to watch them.
Yeah, you eventually did see the vision, if I remember correctly, Annie. I think you did.
Probably. Yeah. I think I was told, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Hal and Thora are the only two that have not seen that. Alec's just going to go, well, it was worth a shot. Right. I will be coming with you, because I can't leave this open without me coming through. So I'll at least be there for just in case anything bad happens too. Seeing as tensions have been high, I think that's probably a good thing. But like I said before, I cannot leave here for too long, and yes, well, right. A little bit somber news. Did you want the death toll before we leave?
It probably be a good metric to have. Good's not the right word.
I know.
Useful.
Well, we lost about 1,250 Fey and non-Fey creatures. powerful creatures such as myself and, let you know, Archfeys, we lost 17. They took the brunt of the damage at the beginning. Man of animals that we lost is still trying to figure out. He's going to look to Shadowclaw and just go 15. Archmage Orator, of course. Archdruid Eladrid. He was the water elemental that saved you and brought Kargath here. He's going to look over at Clark and go, A couple other people that you do know was on the list. Throck Stoneheart. He was the new champion of Drax that you guys got to witness. And
No.
the big ogre who crafted his hammer, Grugthar the Divine. Hildegard Morningfall, she was the one who healed Kargath. Plus Ned and a whole bunch of others, but roughly 1,300. Which, considering what happened, that's not bad.
Any death is bad.
Yes.
I give him that death stare. Like
that was
how
Brandon
dare
saying
you.
that, not him. Sorry, that was Brandon saying that, not Alec.
Oh, okay.
Considering
thought
the
that
amount
was
of people that, considering you had like 25,000 there, 1,300 into that, that's not bad. Yeah.
Clark stares off in the distance and through the fourth wall at Brandon.
Yes.
The 1,000-yard stare directed at God.
You also got to remember who's telling you this. Someone who has witnessed trillions die over his lifetime and a couple planets explode. He's like the living embodiment of life and death in front of him. So, yes. That's just here, though. I don't know. Planet-wide, I have not got the numbers for that yet. That will take time. We have runners, obviously, out. Try to ascertain what's going on, and, well, apparently we're at war, according to Queen Titania. I don't think it's really necessary for that, but we will do what we have to do. But good luck. And, like, you just see, like, the tree split, and, like, just a tunnel appear in front of you. Oh, right. I've done this a while. Run.
Wait, what?
Go quickly, please. And he just, like, shoves you in front of the entrance. He's just going to start counting 6, 5.
And he'll take off running.
He literally helps shove you guys through. Yeah. Transport via plants is 6 seconds. I don't know why. It's weird. And you guys find yourself, I'll put you back on the main map, somewhere none of you guys have been before. So, you guys are currently down here in Marzel. You are now being dropped off right about here. Kim? Nope. Stop it. That look bigger. Right about there. Even though it doesn't look like there's trees on the map, there's a few there. Pretty much right at the entrance to a mountain pass. And you'd be able to tell that it's a little colder here, but not too much yet. You're still pretty much summerish. And your elevation has changed. Marzel's quite high up. You're about 4,000 feet below where you currently were. A little easier to breathe, different temperature, different atmosphere. And for some of you, really, really tall mountains in the distance.
Is that a short joke?
Probably.
I know you said you were putting us a day away. Like, how close are we exactly?
So you're about
I'll
a
look
day.
around. I'll look around, like, and in which direction?
Oh, north. Right through that, both, see that big tall mountain and the smaller one to your right? Right through the dead center, you will find a trail that has been, well, it's a road. Merchants use it all the time. So as long as you stay on the road, you'll be fine. But, in that box, if you need me, there are 10 sheets of paper. They're called paper birds. Write a note on it, write who you want it to go to, and it will go to that person. It's going to take some time because it flies about as long, like as quick as a bird does. So it'll take a few days to get to me. But it's the quickest way to communicate right now, until sending and scrying starts to work. Oh, and just in case, I think you guys still have a sending stone that I gave you. Try it every day, just in case.
I should be able to tell when the sending and scrying happens because my abilities will come back as well.
Oh, yes, and, well, we'd be able to see the sun and the planet again.
I mean, if I'm special enough to get my powers back.
Oh, I have faith in you guys. A lot of people do. But don't forget to watch your back. There's a coalition out there that seems to not want us to get off this rock. Good luck. I will try and keep in touch when I can. And you do the same. Oh, and if any of you by chance run into any of the other people that you have met, the ones at the bottom of the ocean, tell them this wasn't our fault. Then we're working on it. He's just going to smile and go back through the tree. You have not told him about Arthur, or anybody about that, but he seems to know. And you guys are left alone in a forest you've never been in the dark, with a path in front of you. What would you like to do?
Can I climb a tree and scout ahead?
You can climb a tree. Who's going through the box of shit?
I will, because he did say there was something in there for me.
Yes. So there's a magic item, I believe it's called a paper bird, that you can add to your inventory. I think it's a paper bird.
Clark is going to fly up with Annie to help look.
Okay. Yeah, so the paper bird, after you write a message of 50 words or fewer on this magic sheet of parchment and speak a creature's name, the parchment magically folds into a tiny paper bird and flies to the recipient whose name you uttered. The recipient must be on the same plane of existence as you, otherwise the bird turns into ash and takes flight. It's got 1 hit point, AC of 13, speed of 60. It can pretty much travel on a direct route whereupon it turns into a non-magical and inanimate sheet of parchment that can be unfolded only by the recipient. If the bird's hit points or speed is reduced to 0, it turns to ash. So it's got 10 sheets of paper in there for you, so you can communicate to 10 things anytime you need to. Inside is also a wand of fireballs for you, sir. Annie, currently you cannot use divination magic. Anything with the divination tag.
Okay.
Yeah. This thing would have a tiny little note on it that says wand of fireballs. Don't point at your friends.
I pointed at the bird and go, roast chicken. I'll say what it is when we'll pick it up.
Okay. That's currently the only thing inside that box. I don't know. You guys can figure it out, but inside of, just as a reminder for you, you have picked up a few things during your last fight that you shoved into the bag of holding. You have Scarecrow's effects. I don't know whether or not you would think to go through that on your journey or not. That's just me reminding you that you have them. You cannot identify them, but you can look at them if you would like. And who is on point walking forward?
When you said Annie's going from tree to tree trying to like scout out
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, you're pretty
tree
much
to
like
tree.
near the edge of the forest. You have like maybe a 10-minute walk to get out of the forest.
Just since like we've suddenly gone from being surrounded by the bright tree to well, pitch black. So how many people here can't see in the dark?
Me.
wait, who am I?
I very much can't see in the dark. I use my
I can.
I use my light spells to get through, which currently aren't working.
I'm going to rummage through a pack and hand you a hooded lantern.
Yeah, I was going to say you do have your lantern still, Hal, I believe. Or did you leave that at your turtle?
It was my ring.
And you actually have a lantern. You have the ghost lantern, do you not?
Oh. Apparently not.
Was that a Buster thing?
You got it off Buster.
Oh, well, I didn't write it in.
Okay, it's called a ghost lantern. It's an actual magic item. That would have been probably hanging from your pack. Yep.
Oh, you already got one.
I feel like I remember Buster getting that like a long time ago.
Yep. It was the first item he was given from his former boss when they split. Whose name I cannot remember. I'd have to go back to the notes.
Yeah.
But
I'm
he's
just
a
thinking
merchant
how
that's out there
close.
somewhere.
I'm saying how close it nearly got to being reunited with its old owner.
Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite magic items. All right, the ghost lantern. You have identified it, I believe, before. It will shed light. It acts as it has like a tiny spectral hand inside that will act as a mage hand for you. It's attuned to you. It will also, if you die, resurrect you. The lantern always needs a soul. It currently has a soul inside of it. So if someone died and the lantern was within reach, the soul would go into you and resurrect you. It also does one fun thing that you won't learn until that happens, if that ever happens. It is an extremely handy magic item to carry around with you.
Stabilizes its owner. Doesn't bring
Yes.
him back.
Yes, but it will stabilize you, but that one has a few added bonuses. Like if you died and that was on you, it will put you to 1 health.
Okay.
Yeah. You will also
How many
then...
times?
Well, that's the fun part about that lantern. The lantern needs a soul. So it's not picky. So if you used it to revive somebody with, the next person or creature that dies in range of that goes into it, even if it's one of your friends.
Like
And
dead,
then they
dead,
would...
or unconscious dead?
Dead.
So fail all saving throws, dead.
Yes. So if the lantern doesn't have a soul, whenever it comes in contact with something that's dead that still has the soul inside of it, the lantern gets the soul to be used to bring somebody else back. So without your soul, like if someone tried to resurrect you or reincarnate you, you don't have your original soul to go back into. You currently know whose soul's in that one. It will change part of you if it ever happens. So it's one of those catch-22. It's a great item, but also a terrible item at the same time. Well,
And I've just been carrying it around without realizing.
yeah, Wax is a mage hand. It's great. Perfect. Well, I think that's a great place to go for break, and then we'll come back and get you guys to work the Psyche.
I went from having 4 attunement items to fucking 5 right there.
So,
Am I the last one, am I?
yeah, that's okay. All right. So, there's also a couple things that I forgot to mention inside the box that you got, other than the wand of fireballs. It has 2 scrolls inside, with a small note that says, "I don't know if one of them's going to work." Sorry. One is a scroll of sending. Scrolls should still work because the spell's already on it. And there is a scroll of proof against detection and location. So if at some point one of you needs to not be detected by any magic once scrying works, you'll at least have a scroll available. Too bad you don't have a wizard in the party, but it will do in a pinch. Now, I can't remember if I said your orb was going to work for scrying.
It does not work.
I think I said that, but I think it still might. I don't... Because it's technically an item, I can't remember if that would work or not if Divine Magic is not working. Because it's technically a legendary item that has its own, technically, power source. So what I think I might do is if you ever do try to use it, we'll do an Arcana roll or a percentile roll to see if it works for the day. But I'm not sure. Keeping it not working would fit, I think, with the story, but we'll play it by ear. So,
At least in the description on D&D Beyond that I have, it doesn't mention a school. So
no, it doesn't, but it's still the spell. But I don't think, like, it acts like the scrying spell, so I don't know. But I think we'll do like a percentile to see if it works for the day or not, because it might be just like a little fuzzy, because it's technically its own power source.
yeah, okay,
Yeah, because technically that would have been made by like a wizard, it's more arcane than divine. Because that's not something a cleric can create. It's got to be wizard or sorcerer or something like that. Alright, so did you guys, were those perception rolls again for when you were climbing up the trees? No, that was back in Marcel. So you guys who were climbing trees taking a look, I'll take more perception rolls and with advantage because you are all pretty much helping. Okay. Those are a little better. Alright. So when you guys get to the top of the tree on the path that you're currently looking for and on, in the distance, it's dark. You can't really see that far in front of you, but you don't hear anything that seems like it's going to try and come and kill you. It's not raining here, though. It's actually not a bad morning. Even though it's dark and you can't see a lot, between the few of you, you'd have enough light to see at least 30 or 40 feet in front of you. Alric, you can see everything pretty much, I think. This is like daylight for you.
Well, as an Owlin, I actually have 120 feet of dark vision
Oh, really?
in dim light.
But his is much
So-
better.
Yeah.
Well, between the two of you, then, you have 240 feet of dark vision forward and behind as you guys travel, which is going to be good. So, you guys have a day journey. Is there anything you guys want to do during that journey?
Yeah.
Specifically.
I think as we're walking along, Clark will ask, kind of tug on Annie's tail to, kind of keep her to the back of the pack for a sec. And I want to thank you for believing in me when I did not believe in myself. I know I shunned everybody, but you stood there and I'll look over and you too, Kerrigan. That does mean a lot. Thank you.
You get a big sloppy lick.
You're welcome, but you really don't have to thank me. And grief does things to people, and I mean, I feel like people were expecting certain things from you, and I know that you weren't necessarily yourself, and you just needed to work through it, and that's something that you have to do on your own in your own way. And I wanted you to be able to have that, because if someone else tries to do it for you, then it's just going to be stuck with you, and you're going to carry pieces of that with you. And I wanted you to be able to work through as much of it as you could. And I tried to give you the space to do that as much as possible. You're usually the inspiring one that keeps us positive, and I was hoping that giving you that space would help you get the positivity back sooner, I guess.
That is why I want to thank you. Because to me, that is the start of for the lack of a better term, payback. is coming to grips with and apologizing to people that, and he does his best air quotes with his wing feathers. People I have air quote hurt, and I know it didn't hurt, but I wasn't myself. Accepting, you allowed me to accept the grief and process it. Well, and the smack upside the head by Alfred didn't hurt either. But it's just something I have to do. And he kind of flies up and puts his wings around, if you will allow him, around your torso, and you kind of course he can't fly anymore, but you kind of feel him give you a hug.
Yeah, she'll wrap her arms and like hold you up a little bit. Like anytime. I think that you would definitely do the same if the roles were reversed.
Clark's gonna jump on.
Nothing to thank us for.
Clark's gonna jump up on the back of Kerrigan and kind of reach down and give him the cheek scratches and
nice,
and as a thank you, as well as a hug on the around his neck.
Nice. Yeah, he pretty much like Kerrigan at this point is just happy to be doing something. The feelings inside Marzel, you would have been able to tell that was a lot for him. Being out in the wild and wilderness is something that he's extremely happy for.
It's good to see you getting some of yourself back.
And with that, Clark kind of looks up at Annie and winks again, and he's going to cast Prestidigitation, and you see this small ball of yarn, and he's going to hold it out to Kerrigan and kind of just chuck it in front of Kerrigan and watch his reaction.
His reaction is one of, where did it go? As Shadowclaw grabs it and goes invisible. Now, Alric, you hear a... Can we go do something useful, please? I don't like this. That's what you hear, Alric. Can we go scout? I'd like to know what's in front of us.
As a group hears up a sigh from Alric as he's sort of picked up by the scruff of his neck, like the scruff of his shirt, by something invisible sort of carried off. Like, I'll be back.
Yeah. And Kerrigan gets a ball right in the nose.
I think that's our sign that we need to kind of keep moving.
Can only keep a cat Sith happy for so long. Hey.
But all of a sudden, I've got Dory going, instead of swimming, moving,
yeah,
moving,
just
moving.
keep moving, just keep moving.
Just keep moving.
All right. Along your way, you don't really notice anyone else. There's no merchants on the road. You still see signs of life, a lot of nocturnal life around here. And as you guys get deeper and deeper into the mountains themselves, you do notice there's definitely creatures that live in the mountains. Maybe they have other wyverns here too. It's kind of hard to tell up in this area. But you do definitely see signs of bigger creatures that are in this area. But none of them come to bother you for some reason. Along your journey, were you, just for Brandon's sake, were you going to bother to look at any of Scarecrow's gear? Or could I put that, we're going to do that later?
What kind of base equipment did it look like?
One's some sort of gauntlet, some sort of cape, armor, and some sort of satchel.
Can I look at the gauntlet and the cape?
Give me quick Arcana rolls then. Okay. 14's enough. You'd be able to tell that the gauntlet itself, like most weapons, this is definitely a weapon. That will require attunement. It attaches, it looks like, to your hands. You'd be able to tell it's got a couple like levers on it that, if depressed, will do some sort of splashback with some sort of like acid or gas. It definitely has a lot of levers, a lot of brass tubing, but it does look like it would recharge itself. It's definitely not something you want to poke yourself with. And it has that lovely smell of like acid and poison around it.
Yeah.
The shroud is a tattered cloak stitched from nightmare touched burlap, and it is soaked in some sort of alchemical compound. It definitely looks like it would be extremely useful, whether or not you want to put it on. You do sense that if you put it on, though, people around you might not enjoy your company.
Do I sense it to be attunement?
Absolutely. But this looks nice. Like, magically, it's got a lot on it.
Question for DM.
Yep.
If I keep it in a backpack, does that still class as being on me?
You'd have to attune to it first and keep it on you, then put it in your backpack.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah. You can't just put it in your backpack. You'd still have to wear it first and then keep the attunement as long as it's on your person.
You know, that's fine. That's what I was pretty much asking.
Okay. The armor itself looks horrible, but extremely functional. And the satchel, kind of like most things, looks like it's kind of, at one point when you first picked it up, there was only one vial left. Now it's got 4.
No one asked yet. What kind of armor? Like breastplate, heavy, medium, light?
You'd be able to tell it's like studded leather almost, but it's burlap. It's dyed like the color of shadow. It's very slick, oily. Pulses a little with some sort of black energy, and it almost, you get like there's a sense of like whispering coming from it.
I'm gonna throw the studded armor at the cat. Like, I think this suits you best, Annie.
I will gladly take that.
I think you're the only one that wears studded armor. Because I don't think that the dark droopiness suits the bright and colourful fucking Owlin.
Yeah, it is kind of my color.
All I want to know is, are you going to put it on without identifying it?
Well, I currently have +2 studded leather. Would I recognize this as potentially better?
I'll take an Arcana. With Hal's helping, so I'll say with advantage. Without being able to identify it, Arcana is really the only way you could be able to ascertain if it'd be helpful.
Yeah, it's 11.
With advantage?
Yeah, I rolled it. one of the other one was in that one. However,
It does look nicer than yours, yes, with an 11. Whether or not it would protect you more, it covers more of your body.
Yeah, I was going to say, it might not be as sturdy, but I think you'll get more assistance.
and I know that I can't cast Identify because that is divination. So yeah, I'll switch them out. I'll put it on.
Okay. I'm going to send you the link so nobody else knows what you are getting.
Ooh.
Super cursed.
Every day you turn closer and closer into Scarecrow. Sucker.
Okay. Where are you in my messages? So add that item to your inventory and please put it on. Would you have done this at the beginning of the day? Like when you first got dropped off partway through? Once you find it and put it on, you will know why I have a timer going.
I was going to do this as they're scouting.
Okay.
Like, as they were doing that initial up in the tree scout.
Right.
So she would have had it when she came back from scouting.
Okay.
Then yeah, as soon as I got it is when I would.
Okay. Do you have it in your inventory yet?
I am pulling it up now.
Okay.
Oh no, wait, that's just the normal one.
If not, I can put it in your inventory for you, probably. That might be actually easier.
Inventory.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
All right, I got it.
Beautiful. Equip that and put that on. And start tuning to it, please.
It is to the one
That's
I had
a
was.
+3.
Oh, do I have the right? This makes my AC from 14 to 12. But yeah,
if you put it on,
down.
if you put it on, it should go up.
No, I did. Like, so I had the one I had before.
Okay, sorry. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah.
I will change it. I'm going to override your AC. That should put you to 1 up. So you were at what before?
I was at 15.
Okay, this should put you to 16.
Oh, cool. Okay.
There you go. I just changed it for you.
Oh, cool. I'll refresh. Thank you.
Yeah. So you should be at a 16 because it is a +3.
Yes, I am. Okay, cool.
All right. Well, after the first hour, you guys all would notice that she starts to get an aura around her that makes you feel like you don't want to piss her off.
Belly cat. Belly cat. It's
If
not.
you can read, if you read the bottom part for just to yourself, so you know what's going to happen.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think Clark wouldn't want to piss her up anyway. Bird cat kind of relationship, you know.
Okay.
Question for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Question real quick. So
Mm-hmm.
Whitney's reading all of this, and I know all of this, but would Annie know this stuff like after putting it on?
No.
Right. So
No.
okay.
This just as you get closer and closer. I will let you decide what you do and how that happens.
Fun. Okay. Cool.
And it is longer than 9 hours to get there, to let you know.
Okay.
It'll be pretty much at the same time.
Cool.
So, along the way, what would you like to do?
What is... Well, I think I would have put it... Okay, so she, initially seeing this armor for the first time, is thinking darkness, shadows, maybe this is going to help me be more incognito, but stronger at the same time. And maybe even something that, like, my patron might smile on. Maybe this is a sneaky gift for me, you know, something. But then putting it on and maybe feeling just kind of a instinctual feeling of just wrong, and but thinking maybe I'll get used to it. Maybe this is just because it's new and the world's kind of sideways right now. So maybe just give it some time and it'll get better.
Yeah.
So I think initially she would just continue walking along, trying to shake off like weird, creepy feelings.
Nothing happens for the first 3 hours.
Yeah.
So that's during that. Around the 6-hour mark, what would Andy be feeling then? Do you think it would be anything your friends would be able to tell?
Probably.
Or are you keeping more to yourself and starting to wander away from the group, or what you doing?
That's what I was going to say. Like, I think that they probably would notice that, because where she had just had that moment with Clark a minute ago, like, kind of a little bonding moment, and he would at least probably notice a shift from, I'm glad everything's in the right spot, everything's moving back towards where we need to be, to now she's kind of distant and falling behind the party, if not just moving more off towards the edges, I guess. Maybe
perception roll from you, please.
From me?
Yep.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay. With the 9, your friends are in front of you. You start to feel like, I really, really don't want to fucking be here. These people are starting to get on my nerves. Why am I doing this? Why am I here? You know what? Fuck it. I need a break. And I need you to sprint as fast as you can. Stealthily, please. So I will take a stealth roll. And it's dark out here. Clark and Alric. Alric, you're in front of the group. You don't see this. Clark,
I think
you're
I
the
would
only one that has...
If I can cast invisibility, I would.
Absolutely, then you could do that with advantage.
It's actually a pact ability.
Right.
So it just happens. Oh, roll stealth with advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't have to roll. It's just a concentration spell.
Yep. And I would assume you have told Kerrigan to, at this point, to go with Clark because you want to be alone.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do a quick roll for him. Don't worry, the rest of you are going to get a chance to see what the hell's going on. Okay. Kerrigan is okay with going. So, at some point along your journey, Alric, you're way out front scouting. Clark, Hal, your perception, your passive would realize at some point that Annie's no longer there, but you can't see where because it's dark for you. Clark, What's your passive perception?
13.
13. Well, her stealth beats that.
But I was
Right.
also thinking since we were
Yep.
just talking, I would be right there next to her.
Yeah, this all depends
So-
on what time of the day you'd be speaking. If your conversation would be like the first hour, second hour, third hour, I'm going to leave that up to you. By the time you guys finally get near, when you can tell in the distance you're 3 to 4 hours away from the Sun Keep, that's when Annie's starting to go quiet. And it's just more, she's pretty much just saying, let's just get there. I'm tired. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to be here.
And if I remember correctly, Annie and Kerrigan have a mental connection, correct?
Yes. Mental.
So
yes.
mental.
But she can,
so she can
take
communicate.
her collar off if she wanted to.
Well, no, the reason I was asking
Kerrigan
because,
would feel what's going on. Yes.
well, that and if Annie told Kerrigan to stay out loud, I would hear that. So that's what
I'm
I was
assuming
thinking.
that would have been in her head. She's pretty
It would
much
not have
commanding him.
been out loud. It would
No.
not
Yeah.
have been.
She's having a lot of inner turmoil right now. That's the problem.
Okay, so would
So,
so knowing Kerrigan can feel it,
she would
would
feel
Kerrigan act
she's
different?
not until the 9-hour mark. No. He would feel something's wrong and she wants to just be alone. He wouldn't get any malevolence towards him. He would be able to tell she's just angry and needs some space.
After about 3 hours, I would have started like branching off, getting a little bit farther from you all. After like 6 hours, I would have started getting like really irritated. And if somebody did speak to me, I probably would have been irritable and like maybe even snappy. And then 9, I'm turning invisible, telling Kerrigan to stay with you, and I'm trying to just get away.
Owl does
So-
nothing. He knows what time of the month it is.
Excellent. So, Thora, would you be paying attention to anything like her? You're okay with anger. That's for you. Seeing her angry and frustrated, would you think that's different, or would you be happy with her?
No, I'd be good with it. I'm like, all right, let's do this.
Okay. Perfect. So Clark, you're really the only one who might be able to find something out wrong with her. What hour mark do you think you'd be able to figure out? Like 7, 9, like maybe near the 9 hour?
I guess so.
Okay.
Because I was thinking, you know, I'm there walking next to her, but I'm
Yeah.
really not paying attention.
Yeah.
So as she falls back, so it would be towards the end, like I look over
Yeah.
and she's gone.
Yeah. Okay. When you realize something's wrong, can I first have a insight check from you? And I need a deception roll with advantage from Annie.
Well, I got a nat 20 or a 21.
Okay. Can I have a wisdom save next from Clark, please?
Oh boy, that's a -1. So I got an 11.
Clark, you get scared of her. I mean, scared that you're running the other way. You don't want to be near her either.
It
She now
hurts
has
my.
She now has a permanent fear aura, an aura of dread, and she is chaotic evil, and an NPC for me.
Whoa.
So Annie, you are slowly becoming Scarecrow. like Hal thought.
Holy shit.
Because you are now permanently chaotic evil, you don't want to be near this group. You don't want to do anything. Next session, you're going to have to reroll your character.
I
She's
kind of
now-
love this, actually.
She is now mine. So,
Okay, my question.
the rest of you, at some point right before you hit the Sun Keep and reunite with Alric in the lead, realize she's not there, and she's taken her collar off and has lost connection to Kerrigan. You would find that on the road somewhere if you backtracked. So I will let you guys figure out what would you like to do when you finally realize she is not there.
All right, so the cat was angry. Now she gone. What's up with that?
I will show you the Sun Keep that you see in the distance, at least.
It's so much easier with spells.
Yep. I will quickly tell you what this thing does. Once donned, the padded armor of terror cannot be removed unless under the effects of remove curse. When attuned, the wearer is unaware of the curse. For each hour the armor is worn, the wearer's alignment shifts towards chaotic evil and starts their affects behavior, role-play, decision-making. At 3 hours, chaotic tendencies emerge, rebellious, defiant. At 6 hours, morality decays, empathy weakens, and self-interest grows. At 9, they are permanently chaotic evil. It is irreversible, not even a wish spell will change this.
Sorry, Annie.
I kind of love this, actually, though. Like, I felt like play to the characters. She would have wanted it. Like,
Mab's
I was
okay with
sitting
chaotic
there-
evil.
I'm sitting there going, stunned leather. Like, there's only 2 of us that wear it, and one of them's not dark and dingy.
right? Yeah.
Like, so I was like, if anyone's going to wear it, it's going to be you. So I'll give it to you to have a look at.
Yeah, and I mean, dark and shadows are her thing, so it made sense.
Are we aware of what would have caused it at all?
No. She just slowly got quiet, angry, moody. You guys went through a lot lately. So those emotions are valid. Yeah.
Who's going to tell her sister?
To be fair, she's not dead.
Her now
She's not
very
dead.
powerful sister that is basically the new Archmage.
Yeah, the only thing that will work, if she died, the armor could then be taken off of her, resurrected, and she'd go back to her normal chaotic evil self. Maybe could be redeemed that way after, but it is a permanent morality shift.
Yeah, that's why I was asking if I would have been aware of it, because I'm like, could I have done, like,
No, you're not aware of the curse.
good and evil on myself? Right. So I was like,
Yep.
no, okay.
And because it's it's part of you, you get comfort from it.
Yeah.
You want to be part of it.
It's good versus evil's divinity magic.
Oh, it is. It would have worked anyway. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to go back to the that one vending machine, see if we can get the
that exploded, unfortunately.
Yeah, but get the card that reverses alignment.
Oh, that thing, yes. Yep. Yeah, actually, that one is in the mix for other campaign, yeah. I was hoping Francisco was going to pull that one day. Yeah. So, next session, Annie, you can come up with a new character.
I just sent you the link to my new character.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. That's fun. You can
At
put her
least.
to 10, because after our next session, you're going to be going to leveling up anyway.
Cool. If
So-
you're good with what I just sent you, if you're good with that.
I'll look with that. I'll look at it after. Yep.
Yeah.
So the rest of you currently don't know where Annie is or what happened. Ooh, okay, that's going to be
Ooh.
interesting, right?
Actually, that bird, the paper bird.
Yep.
Can we follow it?
She's got a head start by a lot.
We have mounts.
No, you
Like,
don't.
we
I
have
have
Corrigan
bridging
will
book.
outrun it. We have a monk that will outrun it.
You have Kerrigan and Shadowclaw.
Yes.
So technically,
And a fleeing Tabaxi which can't outrun there.
it would fly though on a direct course to her. Yeah, we could try that next session. I'm good with that. I think this is a good place to end. I didn't think that was going to happen today, but I had to remind you guys what you had because you would take the time, I would assume, to take a look at what you had. So, yeah, we will. That's a good idea. I like that idea. It's still not going to change anything. She's now mine. But we will see what can happen next session.
And Brendan, how would you feel about a bird adopting a cat? If that is okay with with Annie.
I feel like it's less weird than a cat riding a cat.
It's just like a minotaur riding a bull or a horse. It's one of those weird things with D&D.
Minotaur riding a horse.
Or a satyr riding a centaur, like stuff like that.
It's the joy of the imagination. If it fits, it sits.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm good with that. We'll figure that out next session. That was fun.